you start off with the offensive line? We didn't get a chance to really ask Mac about that, but as far as evolutions go, it seemed like Saturday was just a different level of performance than they've been able to kind of put together.
Well, I think by far it was the most complete game the offensive line has played. And as we've said here every Monday, it's been close. And there's been a lot of times where, 4 of the 5 or 5 of the 6, counting the tight end, were all in really good shape, and one guy didn't have the hat right, and because of it, the play didn't look like it. We had some of that Saturday. There was other situations where we thought one more hat being right, this play might have been 9 instead of 3. But overall, they really played well. They did a great job against a quality opponent. They protected well. And maybe the most important thing is we're able to run the ball in the fourth quarter and grind out the clock at the end of the game. And at the end of the first half, we were in a situation where we were backed up. We needed to run the ball. We did not want to give it back to them, and we were able to get that accomplished. So I was very pleased with the way they played. And, with that goes the tight ends. Also goes backs running and breaking tackles and seeing holes. So, it all works together. But it was no question the most complete job that group has done.
Publicly, they've taken some hits. I mean, even last week, dealing with comments coming from Jason Peter of Nebraska, called them garbage, and when you hear that stuff, how much, if any, do you guys use last week to motivate them? Did they do that amongst themselves? And how much do you think that played a role in terms of just the level?
Yeah, probably not as much as the public thinks. We did make a comment to the players regarding Mr. Peters' comment. We did make sure they were aware of that. They saw it. But all that really lasted a short amount of time. We had a great week of practice during the bye week. We had a great week on game week, and they played really well. They played with good pad level. They played with confidence, and it was exciting to see them.
Coach Malcolm was the only receiver to have a catch. Do you want more balance this week?
Yeah, I would like more than 4 completions. We don't normally talk about balance in this regard, but this week we need to. So it was a game where we really felt like the way defensively they were built, that we needed to run the ball. We needed to spread the field and run the ball inside, take some shots, which we did. We almost came up with one early in the game to Kirkendall. We double moved Marquise on the outside in the first quarter. And then we wanted to get our backs on the linebackers, so we gave them some option routes. But obviously we need more balance as we continue to move forward. There's no doubt.
Greg, how much was Garrett maturing as a quarterback during this game? How much was it actually called plays for him to run? Had you guys seen some things in the film and talked to him about running more, or was it designed?
Yeah, we had talked to him about running more, and yet many of the plays in the game were called draws. But we talked to him during the week that we felt like he could make plays with his feet that he was not making early in the year, and when opportunities presented itself. Now, we had not done a bunch of quarterback draw prior to this ball game, and we also had some things to get him on the edge with run-pass options. I thought he did a heck of a job with that. The touchdown run was on a run-pass option. It was the same play when we just missed Mao in the end zone. He didn't come up with the ball. It was a similar play. We had a couple of different ways to try to get him on the perimeter. But I think he really understood, what we were looking for out of the game plan. I think part of that's maturity. Several of our coaches made comments to me on the plane Sunday about he was moving up and down the sideline, talking to people, more animated. I think he's getting more comfortable in his role.
Yeah, Coach, along those lines, I was going to ask about the leadership for Garrett. Obviously, this is his first big win. It was on the road. How much, you talked about the discussion on the plane, how much do you think this helps him to now have that first skin on the wall as the quarterback?
Well, I think it's one of those things you talk about, you can't give them, and they have to earn it, and he went out and did that, and I do think every time you are put in that environment on the road, big game at home, and you come through, you gain a little more confidence, both as an individual and as a team, and it's contagious.
Greg, for those that would say 4 of 16 didn't have a good game statistically, is there a way, I mean, do you counter with just saying, look, the kid managed the game perfectly?
Well, he was, the offensive staff voted him player of the game, so that would say something about the way he played. And then I think if you try to take a realistic look, great ball to Kirkendall that we didn't come up with, threw a ball that was really well placed to Mal in the end zone under pressure. Several balls he threw away, pumped to Kirkendall. So, I thought he really played well, and told him, after the ball game. And sometimes numbers don't reflect that. I mean, we've all been in situations here where our quarterback, goes 20 of 30, and I think, didn't play too good. I mean, and yet numbers say he probably did, but I think everybody felt like he played pretty well in the game.
Coach, how do you build on the success you had against Nebraska for this week? I mean,
well, I think you just have to, you have to show the guys, as we have talked before, this is what we're talking about. This is the pad level we're talking about. This is the situation. This is all hats being in the right place, back seeing the right cut, getting to the secondary. Cody in the grind tempo of coming and taking it out the back door, and then realizing he needed to stay in bounds. I thought that was a huge play by him at that point in the ball game. So, when you can show them things on film that reflect what you have been talking about, it becomes easier for them to understand.
Is it also a trust level too? Like, not only trusting the guys on the field, but trusting you guys have a point too when it comes to certain plays and things like that?
Well, I think that has been there. Certainly by the way they've worked and by the success we've had. I think they understand that. But it also helps. There's no doubt about it.
Coach, when you guys, one of the wrinkles it looked like this week was when you went 4 wides, that little 3-bunch set, and then the solo matchup at the top. Was that new this week, or?
Yeah, there were several things that we put, in the game plan that was a little bit different. Some of the things we used quite a bit, during the course of the game. Others we just kind of showed and got away from and got back to it. But, that was a new look.
What do you guys, is that a name? That's not like, because the back line's up a little deeper than normal, right? It's not quite a true pistol look where.
No,
but it's kind of the same look, isn't it?
Yeah, we also played 2 backs in the backfield on a couple of third down situations, which was a little bit different. But no, it was just kind of an adjustment for the game.
Coach, you're halfway through the regular season. How close are you to where you want to be?
I think we're closer now than we've been, and I think it's important for us as coaches and as players, to use this as a springboard instead of a destination. Obviously, that we did beat a quality football team on the road, but at the same time, there's other quality teams coming up, and we have to continue to grow.
Coach, you've already been asked this before, but
You wasn't there either.
Huh?
You wasn't there either.
But I watched. Did y'all tell Garrett you're free, run, it's okay, be more aggressive?
Yeah, just like Free Willie. Yeah, we did. No, we did talk during the week about we needed more plays from the quarterback's feet. I think Mac talked about it in this chair last week that when you play a spread offense, you need some freebies out of your quarterback. We did design some in the ball game, and we did talk to him about when they're called, we need you to perform, and like all competitors, he said, great, coach, dial it up, I'll be ready. And so I think it's something we can continue to use and build on as the season progresses.
Last question.
Coach Brown talked about bouncing back, for keeping things going this week when, after a win, and people may say good things, all that kind of stuff. Talk about the week after such an emotional week with all the Nebraska stuff, with the off-the-field stories, and a member of Coach Brown's family passing away, and all of that. What's the most important thing this week about, not letting that emotional letdown get to them?
I think the most important thing is the preparation. I've always felt that way, that, when you invest of yourself during the week with your film study, with the way you practice on the field, then it's hard to turn loose on Saturday. So I think the preparation during the week, it's already started from last night and this morning. I think that's how you continue to play at a high level.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.